and setting goals based on that and working backwards. I am someone who's a PMP, and so I am an agile methodology person, if anyone is familiar. Also, I'm, a teacher, SMART goals. I believe in working backwards, thinking with the end in mind. So really kind of trying to foresee that, working backwards to make sure that those things are put in place. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. That concludes all the questions we have for you. And now we're going to move on to your closing remarks. So we'll once again select names at random, and you'll have 3 minutes to answer these questions. Sorry, 3 minutes to give your closing remarks. Scoop, you are up first.
So many times you hear the phrase quality of life. For me, quality of life is different for everybody in this room. It depends on where you live, your finances. It depends on property you own. So quality of life is not a phrase I like to use. As your next town councilman, I want to use the term quality of place, because as a town councilman, we can impact, we can impact our quality of place. How are you going to do that, Scoop? We're going to invest in future growth. We're going to make sure we have the water capacity that we need for the future growth that is coming. We're going to make sure that we have housing options for everybody so they can enjoy a quality of place. We're going to invest in enhancing community services. Well, what does that look like? For me, walkable paths, bike paths, greenways that connect to other communities, and recreational facilities that everyone can use. So those are the things we need in our community to move forward, so we truly can be a quality of place for everyone. And that's what we can do as elected officials. So my question is, are we building the bridges that we need to build to empower our communities so we can have a quality of place for everyone? Are we having the right conversations with people to help build the partnerships we will need to move Holly Springs forward in a progressive future? And if you vote for me, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get all of that. My past experience, my work experience, my life experience, I'll bring all that to the table with the relationships I already have in place with town staff, town council, the mayor, and community-wide leaders.
Thank you. Annie.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure sitting in the hot seat. I value your time. Thank you for coming out tonight. It's great to have this opportunity to sit together and discuss issues, and I admire you being here to listen and learn and get to know your candidates to make an informed decision. So thank you for that. I really like what Chris said about your view changing with your seat. And I believe being on town council, you have a responsibility to bring these distinct voices and viewpoints together to build something better. My viewpoint alone doesn't matter. It's together where we learn and see things from a different point of view, because our town is very diverse. We've got brand new neighborhoods, more established ones. We've got people of all ages, and I think coming together is where we're going to grow and really make a difference. Responsible growth is important to me. Looking around, talking to people as I have been, I've seen a lot about what we can do better, learned a lot about what people's needs are, and I'm excited and eager to work with the excellent town staff, the other folks on town council to build a brighter future together. Thank you.
Thank you. Jack?
I was an educator for 19 years at the high school level, and ultimately I was successful in the classroom because above all else, I'd put student success first. Didn't matter where a family came from, or what their personal belief system was. We were working towards a common goal, which was for their student to be as successful as possible. I loved being in the classroom. I loved serving people in that way. I loved working with my students and seeing them grow and be successful. That same commitment and drive for me would be how I would serve on your town council. Ultimately, the role is to serve everyone in our community. And I really want to see everyone sitting in those seats working towards the success of our town together. I think it's really important to invite people into government. Local government can actually be really fun. It can be a relationship building experience. It can be the reason that you love and enjoy being in your community. And when I hear people say that they stopped coming to town council meetings after years because they felt like no one was listening to them, it makes me want to see a significant change in the way that we're operating. We need to offer a town hall model. We need to invite people into the process in every way that we can. The slogan for my campaign is "They for all of them," because I really want to invite everyone into this process and to do that as successfully as possible. Policy is my love language, and if I'm elected to the town council, I hope to create policy that is truly a values statement, and in that policy, recognizing that we value everyone in this town.
Thank you. Chris.
First, thank you everybody for hanging out with us for 3 hours. It's a long time, because you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. So that I appreciate y'all. 26 years ago, I decided to get my knees dirty. I got on my knees and I proposed to my wife. And you're like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? So Heather and I were planning a wedding. And as we were planning a wedding, I compare that to like this campaign. Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and we gotta do this, oh no, and we need to do this, and we ran around and we did all these things and we got married. But where the real work started was we said I do, and we're sitting there in that small apartment in Annandale, Virginia, looking at each other saying, now we're married, now the real work comes. Now there's the compromise. Now there's the conversations. Now there's the, usually it's something that I did wrong, like leave the seat up or something like that. But there are all those things. Fast forward a little bit. I'm the chair of the planning board. A couple of my planning board members are here with us tonight. I will tell you that when we sit in our meetings, actually we have a lot of fun. If you actually want a good time, fourth Tuesday of the night, come out to a planning board meeting. But seriously, we work hard together. We collaborate. We don't ask who's what, who does this or that. We talk about the issues. We research. We actually spend a lot of time. We get the packets on usually a Thursday night, and we spend the weekend before driving out seeing where different things are. And so we work together very closely. I humbly tonight ask for your vote on November 7th, because if you vote for me, you're going to get a person that's going to walk in the door on the town council already with some knowledge, a lot of knowledge of the staff and a lot of the council members, but also a person that will work with everyone. We'll work with the mayor, we'll work with the others, and we collaborate together. Heather said something the other day. She said, you have 2 feet, and if 2 feet agree all the time, then you hop. But sometimes when those 2 feet don't agree, they walk and that's how we walk together, and that's how we walk a straight line. So I ask for your vote on the 7th. Because I want to work with the other town council members to keep Holly Springs growing, to unify this community and make this a place where everybody feels free to call home. I want to make us, and my slogan, and it's on the back of my t-shirts, it says moving forward together. I want us to move forward together because for me, it's important. And that means sometimes sometimes you have to bring someone along. And that's super duper important. So I ask that you get out and vote. And if you have questions about the campaign, please, ask. Thank you. Thank you for the time tonight.
Thank you. Brian.
Well, thanks, guys. This was a great experience, and I was going to put a shout out to my wife. It's probably easy to do it now because she left my son, but yesterday was our wedding anniversary, speaking of weddings. And I'll say this now because she's not here. But, you know, we talk about leadership in action, and that sounds like a great term. But, you know, we'll all go home tonight because we're a town and we're a community, and I'll watch her put my son to sleep, and she's a homeschooler, so half time's homeschool, half time not. And we'll watch today. And talking last night, she said, struggle, am I doing the right thing? And that's leadership in action. That's leadership in action. So anyway, I appreciate you guys having me here. So a couple things. One is, as I'm listening tonight, I learned things. I gave you guys a lot of ideas. I don't know if they're good or bad. I can only tell you what worked in given like situations where I have a particular skill set, which I'm very confident of, which I think I can apply once I understand the position really well, because I don't know everything. But I'm listening, and I'm listening to a lot of folks, a lot of really nice people who are committed. They've got this community organization feel to them. They talk a lot about community. It's a community organization feel. Whether any of us know how to do it, the idea is there. And you can see it, you can hear it, that it's on their minds all the time. You know, in Greek times, it was a little different than tonight. You'd have two people, one on each side in the forum, and they would discuss a topic, and the goal was not whether this idea was right or that, but by the end of the day, you couldn't leave until you came up with a third idea they hadn't come up with before. And that's what I'm interested in. And from a problem-solving perspective and working, cooperating, that's what I would do within the town council. And yes, there is a little bit of a disconnect, but I think transparency, someone mentioned it, there has to be, maybe as a corollary, additional ways to communicate. Let's get to competency. So you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision whether you know the process or not. You have to make a decision about who can do certain things. I've been in sales my whole life. People tend to do what they like to do, not necessarily what they're doing, whether they say. I've been in front of people my whole life. I love being in front of you guys. I'm successful in my business because I take the bad phone call. Most importantly, I just want to talk to people and learn what's going on. Having said that, my law degree, my business experience, I think, fits very well. Lastly, in terms of values, my personal values are my personal values. Your personal values, you know, nobody really cares. I mean, that's the point about this. You can get to anything you want. Having said that, your personal values as they apply to your political decisions are very important. You guys have to make a decision. You know what? This is completely transparent what I'm saying. But everybody has to have the courage of the convictions to say what they really mean, because when you get in that seat, it's not a community organization seat. It's a political seat. It's a seat that makes policy. And you have to know who is transparent, who has the courage of the convictions to say exactly what they're going to drive. Thank you.
Thank you. Staci.
Thank you. So first of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight. You've been so kind to sit and listen to all of us. I want to say you're also being so patient. Thank you so much, first of all, for that. I really applaud each and every one of you. You came because you care. You care about your town, you care about your community, and you should be applauded for that. And I really want you to know that I appreciate that. I appreciate being in a community where you have so many people that care, and I'd love to get to work with each and every one of you, because I can tell just by you being here that you care, and as much as I do. I am, I'm a very passionate person, and I believe in helping. I believe in bringing people together. I believe in listening to everything that everyone has to say, whether we want to hear it or not. I want to improve the community. I want it to be sustainable. I want it to be continue to be the great place that it is. I want to see the people in it thrive and our businesses thrive, for generations to come. So I humbly ask for your vote, because I want you to know, even though maybe I've lived here the shortest period of time, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a great deal of passion, enthusiasm, and the ability to listen and learn quickly and get to know people and build the important relationships that I know are important for every industry and every environment. We all want to have those great relationships. And I just want you to know that being here means so much to me, as just being an only child, being the child of a single parent. It's never been easy. And having more community in my life, it just means so much to me. And I feel like I've worked and I've gone to school and I've gotten degrees, and I haven't always been part of as much connected with the community as I would like to be. I've been connected to my schools and places that I've worked, but I really want to connect with the community and work as hard as I can to make this, continue to make it fantastic and have it be fantastic for generations to come. Again, thank you so much. And I know I think I'm one of the last ones to speak, so thank you so much for your patience. It really means so much to, I know, all of us. So have a fantastic night, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Danielle.
Last time I was up on this stage, I was standing over between those curtains, throwing balloons on top of my 3- and 5-year-old and the rest of their ballet class. And tonight I'm sitting here, at this forum in front of all of you. And both of those perspectives are so unique, obviously unique, completely different from one another, but so important. And I'm sitting here thinking how often I've been asked in the last few weeks, why are you doing this? Why are you running for town council? And, someone will cross their arms across their chest and lean back and look at me like, spit out your rehearsed, answer, that even I think maybe I should have honed, by this time. But with each of those unique experiences, it changes. There are so many reasons. There are so many reasons all of us are here, and having said that, I think it's important to say that the reason for a council, the reason for a forum like this is to hear. We all have so many different perspectives. If everybody agreed on the same thing, there'd be no reason for a council, right? One person would just say how it is, or nobody would have to. But I've sat this last year and had the experience of working with some really intelligent, really experienced people on council, and I know there's still so much to learn from them, from all of you. There are so many things that go into what the town council can affect, and I want to be a part of all of them, from throwing the balloons on stage to sitting here and talking policy with each of you. I think everything that happens in between in this town is what makes Holly Springs unique, and I think preserving that and really making sure that all of it and what matters to each person gets to be a part of it and gets to be heard and gets to be understood. People that I talk to love living in Holly Springs. I'm one of them. I've been talking about it long before considering running for town council. I think that what we need to do, what we need to look forward as a community that loves our community, is affecting change based on unique perspectives and all of the perspectives that we have, but preserving what makes us Holly Springs. People still call us a small town, and I chuckle a little bit because in the 7 years that I've been here, I've watched that population grow by 15,000 people. I mean, that's a lot of people when you consider the 50 here in this town. So I just, I see the growth. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about all the things that make Holly Springs Holly Springs. I am asking for your vote on November 7th so that we can preserve what Holly Springs is together while moving forward, while growing together. I'm just getting started. Thank you so much for being here tonight and for listening.
Thank you, Travis.
Last but not least, right? First of all, thank you so much to the Chamber of Commerce for hosting this, and thank you all for bearing through this and coming. I appreciate the opportunity to even be up here, and if elected, I will work hard towards a free, peaceful, and prosperous Holly Springs where every individual has the opportunity to pursue theirs unique vision of a rewarding life. This is your town, and I want to put the power back into the people's hands where it's always belonged. It doesn't belong in a government setting. You are the power. You make the call. You make the decisions. And so preserving people's rights, preserving people's property rights is extremely important to me. Again, I live by the principle of don't hurt people, don't harm people, don't take their stuff. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Be good neighbors. Help each other. I want to really encourage people to continue to volunteer as much as possible in your community. If elected, I will listen. I will be the person that you can come to and talk about your issues, anything that's bothering you. Thank you so much. We are growing so fast as a town and as a community, and if elected, I promise that we will move forward in a responsible and ethical and smart way. So thanks again for your time, and I'm Travis Groo, and I appreciate your vote. Thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's give these candidates a big hand. Thank you again, all you candidates. You all did a fantastic job. You all followed the rules, which was amazing. I was ready to jump in at any time to cut you off, but we didn't have to. So totally appreciate that. Thank you for being so respectful and courteous to your fellow candidates. Obviously, we have different opinions on different things, but I appreciate that everyone was respectful and courteous and kept good public discourse here. And thank you for your passion and your interest in Holly Springs. Obviously, you're here for a reason. This is a job that doesn't pay anything and and you'll get a lot of criticism for it. But that is because you're passionate about that, and we truly appreciate that. And we also want to thank the Chamber for hosting this event. Thank you to Tanya and her staff. Thank you to Chris. Putting on an event like this takes a lot of work, so please give them a hand as well. And we want to thank all of you for being here. Obviously, that means you care about your town, and it shows here. So please don't forget to vote on November 7th. And as Chris said earlier, bring someone with you.